afternoon. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm wonderful. Thank you for asking. I wanted to just start off by thanking you for giving us the opportunity for some up close and personal with you.
Okay. I appreciate the opportunity also.
Absolutely. Thank you for being so polite. Well, I'm just going to jump right on in. Okay, so for people who don't know who you are, tell me, who is Dr. Wright Jones?
Dr. Wright Jones is a regular country boy at heart. I'm a person who likes helping people, love what I do, and very blessed to be able to be a plastic surgeon.
Okay, so you say country boy.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a little background. Where are you from?
I'm originally from Hawkinsville, Georgia.
Okay.
It's a small town in middle Georgia. I grew up in a large family, 10 siblings. My mom was a bus driver. My dad was a truck driver, as well as a farmer.
Okay.
And so I spent many days in the fields on a tractor. We had hogs, cows, chickens. So true country boy.
So you really meant country when you said country.
I mean the country like dirt roads, country.
Okay.
Even though my neighborhood was in town, the farm was outside of town. So
Okay.
I had the best of both worlds growing up because I also spent a lot of time in LA growing up.
Did you? Okay. So you say you are one of 10 siblings. What do you fall?
I'm the fourth one.
Okay, so you're a middle child. Is
Yeah.
middle child syndrome true?
I don't think so.
No? Okay.
Yeah.
So that's just a bunch of hype.
Yeah, people create that stuff.
Okay, so about young Dr. Wright, well, young Wright Jones, did you always know that you wanted to go into medicine? You said that you like helping people. Did that always come through in the form of wanting to help medically, or tell me about how you got to the place of medicine?
Ever since I can just remember being alive, 3 or 4 years old, I always wanted to make an impact in the world. My cousin was burned later on when I was around 9 or 10 years old. She was taken care of by plastic surgeons. I'd never heard of a plastic surgeon. So I ignorantly was thinking that maybe they put plastic on her face or something. And the more I read about them, the more I saw them in the media, the more fascinated I became with the field.
Okay, so you knew early on, just because of a personal experience, that helping people in that fashion was what you wanted to do?
Yes.
Okay, so while you were in college, did you ever get to a place where you were like, I want to go for medicine, but it's getting too hard? This is just...
I never thought it was getting too hard, but I was wondering, was it practical? I didn't have any doctors to talk to. I didn't have any family members who are physicians. So I was hearing a lot of negative things about surgeons, about them working all the time, being alcoholics, committing suicide, like all types of things. So I considered other fields,
Okay.
but this was always my passion, even though I was open-minded about my approach to careers.
Okay, so when you were doing your rotations as a med student, was there one particular one that you just knew absolutely you would never go into?
There were several.
You care to share one or two?
Primary care.
Okay.
I think primary care is an amazing field. I think it's a much needed field. It's one of the biggest shortages we have in the United States. But it was just too boring for me, quite frankly. I recall once getting a lecture from my chief resident as a medical student, and all I heard was her clapping in front of me. And I woke up and she was like, oh my God, he fell asleep right in front of my face.
Oh.
So I like to stay on the move. I like to do things instead of just talking about things all the time.
Okay, so in plastic surgery, no day is the same, and that's a plus for you.
Yeah, I love it.
Are you a guy who lives in the fast lane, or are you someone who's kind of conservative but fast lane just?
I'm not as conservative. I'm not as conservative as people think.
Okay.
And I don't try to front like I am. People just assume it, I guess.
Okay.
So I would say I'm pretty laid back, but I kind of like. I'm probably more towards the fast lane.
Okay. So we know that you're a board-certified plastic surgeon. We know there are lots
Double.
of... I'm sorry?
Nothing.
No, tell
Nothing.
me. Keep it.
I'm double board certified plastic
Now tell
surgeon.
me what that means, because for people who are ignorant to the medical field, what does it mean to be doubly board certified?
Double board certified surgeons mean that they are certified in 2 different areas of surgery.
Okay.
So I'm board certified in general surgery, which encompasses the basic surgeries, major surgeries, such as appendectomies, cholecystectomies, where we take out gallbladders. So I'm fully trained in a wide breadth of surgery. So I was exposed to trauma surgery. So I've taken out spleens, I've fixed the gunshot wounds, I've fixed the liver, I've fixed the colon, taken out cancer. I've done the whole 9 yards.
Okay, so going back to the rhinoplasty, we've all witnessed several people who have had botched surgeries, especially people in the ethnic community have gotten nose jobs that, like you said, completely changed their entire profile, changed their face. So instead of refinement, they got completely different noses that don't even look anything like their family, don't look anything like anything that they imagined. So do you have lots of people that come in for corrective surgery?
I do.
Okay.
I've had people coming to me because they've had implants in their nose, foreign bodies. That was commonly done in the 80s and 90s. It's still done. But now we are more facile at using our own tissues to reconstruct or rebuild the nose. So that's one thing I repair, as well as just plastic surgery done in a way where it's overdone and doesn't look natural. That's probably the most common reason I redo rhinoplasties.
So with the foreign bodies, are those things like, well, instead of using foreign bodies, you're using ear cartilage, you're using stuff from the rib?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, traditionally we would use mostly ear cartilage and septal cartilage, which is within your nose itself. But now we're using more rib cartilage because the qualities of rib cartilage itself lends itself as a good construct for building the nose.
Okay, so it's pliable and you can do what you want to do with it instead of it being hard?
Well, it's not very pliable actually, but it's easy to shape, and the warping tends to be a little bit more controlled using rib.
Okay, gotcha.
The other thing with ethnic patients, oftentimes they don't have enough cartilage, so rib provides a robust amount of graft for us to use to build the infrastructure of the nose.
What do you do for patients who've experienced necrosis of actual facial tissue?
Well, that hasn't happened to me.
Okay.
But it just depends. It depends on where the necrosis is, what subunit of the nose that is located within, as well as what part of the nose in terms of whether skin, cartilage, or septum.
Okay. So that's okay. Do you ever have a case that you have to turn away that you just can't fix, or you just won't because it's too risky for their health?
I turn away cases every day. We want patients to be happy. Sometimes patients don't know what it takes to make their own selves happy. So it's our job to tell patients what's possible and what's not possible.
So contrary to what the public may believe, all plastic surgeons don't just drive the patients in, do the surgeries, and get them out.
No.
You don't hear.
No, we try to screen our patients as well as possible before coming to the office so that we don't waste their time.
Okay.
And most people who get to the office are decent candidates for plastic surgery. Beyond that, we screen them even more to make sure that we can meet their expectations.
Okay. So I want to touch back on your upbringing just a tad. You come from a large family. How do you think your parents feel? I mean, of course they're proud of you, but what has been the sentiment that you've experienced from mom, from dad separately?
I think it's almost like a dream to them. My dad once told me that he feels so good about his life because he feels like he's reliving it through me. I'm able to support my family not only emotionally but financially somewhat, and now they are just really proud. They feel like they're living a dream.
And your siblings?
They're the same.
Okay.
Yeah, they're proud as well. But at the end of the day, they still see me as just the same regular person.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I remember you riding on that tractor as a young kid.
Yeah.
Okay.
My brother jokes with me and calls me the best tractor driver in Georgia still. Yeah.
So you still hold that title
He's the-
back home?
Not a title I want, but yeah, I guess.
Take all those titles. You got plenty of accolades on the wall, so it's okay to add some other stuff outside of the office.
Yeah, let's add tractor driver up there.
Okay, that'll work. Yeah, I've never heard it, but now I have. I'll be looking for someone else to do that too. Tell me about your upbringing and how it molded you into the person that you are. Obviously, you come from a two-parent home. You have come from a large family on a farm. So I'm sure there were lots of things that kept you guys close and bound as a family. Would you consider yourself a humble person? Would you consider yourself a proud person? Would you consider yourself someone who, tell me about what you feel about yourself.
I just feel blessed.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm not that much better of a person than the next person. I just feel like God chose me to elevate me so that I could do important things in the world. I think my upbringing within the church was important. It allowed me to learn how to utilize my faith to get through certain obstacles and difficult times, which is a normal part of the journey.
Difficult times?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Now when I have difficult times, I get excited.
Because you know you'll be able to tackle them?
Yeah, and I know I'm gonna grow and I'm gonna develop within those trials and tribulations. So.
What are the tools that you use to process difficult times? Do you read? Do you meditate? Do you spend time alone?
All of the above. I do meditate at least 2 or 3 times a week alone for at least an hour. I think it's very helpful. It allows me to put things in perspective. I do a lot of reading. Reading allows me to kind of get away from things. And sometimes I work. Working helps. When I'm operating, I kind of get lost in the world of plastic surgery. It's like an artist who's painting a painting. You're just focused in on the painting. You're not worried about what happened yesterday or what's going to happen tomorrow. You're just in the moment. Yes, and that really helps.
Okay, that's good. For reading, do you read fiction? Do you read nonfiction? What's on your bookshelf right now? Top 2 books.
7 Habits of Highly Effective People and Good to Great.
Okay. Do you see yourself writing anything at any point past a medical journal?
Definitely. Yeah, I'm in the process of putting together my own book.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's something for us to be on the lookout.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you've expanded outside of just having a regular office. You've got Surgeon's Touch. I'd like to learn a little bit more about the foundation and what's behind it.
Yeah, Surgeon's Touch is a 501c3 status nonprofit organization. Our goal is to improve the lives of individuals who are children that need reconstructive surgery. Now, these children are underprivileged individuals who could not afford plastic surgery or have access to it otherwise.
Do you feel like children from lower income homes have harder times getting cosmetic surgery is one of those things that insurance companies don't always feel is necessary, even though looking at a child, you may feel like their self-esteem may be improved, especially with a burn victim or a child with a cleft lip, things like that. Do you find that those parents since the organization has been up and running, how many children have you helped? And if you haven't helped any yet, what are the letters that you're receiving talking about that let you know that you need to keep moving? Yeah,
most of the letters that we receive are centered around financial shortcomings. So I definitely think it's a huge obstacle for poor people. And when you have a lot of problems in the household, you're not worried about fixing a scar on your face. You're worried about what am I going to eat tomorrow, or how can I keep the lights on? It's a whole different world when you grow up poor, and a lot of people don't realize that.
Okay. So what's the selection process like with the organization? How do you pick the children? What do they have to do as an obligation to become eligible?
Yeah. So the board and I have set aside 3 main criteria for receiving surgery. The first is low income. The second one is the level of deformity. So someone with like a scratch on their face, they could probably be served by another doctor. They don't really need plastic surgeons for that. Also, the community service project. So we want a worthwhile community service project that the kid performs. That way, not only does the individual benefit, but the entire community can benefit.
So sweat equity for payment.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, that's good.
Yeah, we want the whole community to be inspired by our involvement.
Okay. Is that just taking place in Georgia right now? Is it a national initiative?
We're located in Georgia, right here in Atlanta, but we take kids from all over the United States.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's awesome. Do you feel that people that are minorities have a difficult time finding people to properly service them in the plastic surgery realm?
Short answer is yes. Yes. There's a trust factor. Also, there's exposure that is sometimes limited in minorities. People want to go to people that they feel comfortable talking to, that they feel like understand them. But I think most plastic surgeons are willing to help. It's a little bit more difficult for plastic surgeons, even those who want to help because of the medical environment these days. So you can't just give out free plastic surgery like you would want to. That's why we have this organization to set up a process where patients can come in and they can get their surgery funded.
Okay. Do you feel like, as far as the relatability factor, and this is just a question, there's no right or wrong answer as far as I'm concerned, but for people who view this interview, do minority doctors perform better on minority patients than non-minority doctors like you? Would you consider yourself probably more of an expert to operate on a black woman or a black man over someone that's not black?
I think you're good at what you do more and what you know about in terms of your knowledge base. So I don't think just being black makes you good at it, or being a minority makes you good at it. It's what you read, what you learn, and your experience. So if you are a black surgeon who don't operate on many black patients, then you probably won't be as good at it. Or if you're a white surgeon who operates on a ton of black patients and understand the culture a little bit, maybe you can be good. With that being said, I think a lot of minority patients go to minority doctors because those doctors attract those patients. And it is some cultural influence involved in plastic surgery. So we have to understand their beauty standards and understand how to meet those standards.
Is that how you decided that ethnic rhinoplastics would be one of your specialties?
No, it just kind of happened.
Okay.
That's who started coming to me, and that's who I saw when I was home visiting. When people would come up to me and ask me about it, I'm just kind of fascinated with it. And I think we're all trained in, I guess, majority plastic surgery. So I already knew how to do a Caucasian nose because that's what I learned on. So when I got out, I had to seek a little more specialization to learn more about ethnic plastic surgery.
Okay, that's interesting. All right, so we'll step outside of the office for a moment. Tell me about the man. Tell me about you. You said you're less conservative than what people think. So do you have a Ferrari outside? Are you a fast car?
It's not outside.
Okay.
No.
All right.
I do like fast cars.
Okay.
I've had 2 motorcycles. I'm a work hard, play hard kind of guy. I believe in balance.
Okay.
I don't try to pretend like I'm perfect. I'm just a regular guy. I like to travel. I'll spontaneously go to Miami, New York, Vegas, LA. I do that all the time. So I like to have fun. Good, legal, clean fun, but I like to have fun.
Okay. So tropical trip or adventure trip?
Both. I think you can go to a tropical location and do adventurous things, whether that's parasailing or hang gliding or any of the above.
Mountain climbing or whitewater rafting?
Whitewater rafting. I'm not climbing on any mountain.
Okay. You saw one too many movies that somebody...
No, I treated one too many patients. When I was in Vegas in trauma surgery, we have Red Rock Mountain, or Red Rock Canyon, and a lot of people do mountain climbing out there. So we would get patients at 2 o'clock in the morning, 1 o'clock in the morning, who had fallen off of mountains. And I'm thinking, like, what are you doing climbing a mountain in the middle of the night? But, I don't knock it. It's just not for me.
Gotcha. Okay. Tell me what a day in the life of Dr. Wright Jones is outside of here. On a Saturday, well, you probably see patients every day, but on a day that you're not working, what's a day in the life like?
When I'm not working, I'll go visit family, or I will go to I like going out to nice restaurants. Competitive with certain sports like basketball. My brothers and I will play against each other. We'll talk trash. We'll push each other, foul each other. Occasionally, I like to, run, exercise, just regular stuff.
Okay. Do you have any guilty pleasures?
Not really. I have a lot of self-discipline. I don't watch a lot of television. Mm-hmm. In terms of other guilty pleasures, I don't know, I guess hanging out.
So
I don't sleep a lot.
Okay.
So I'm always on the internet, always reading.
So you never just sit at home and eat a bag of chocolate-covered pretzels and watch TV all day?
Literally never.
Okay. Because you're an on-the-go type person.
Yeah. I don't want to sit at home all day.
Okay,
Yeah.
Got you. If you could describe yourself in one word, what would you say?
Blessed.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
What would your friend say? What would your best friend say about you?
They'll probably say I am not innocent, I guess. Unfortunately, don't put that in there, but that's probably what they would say. They probably say, "Oh, everybody think he's so perfect, but he's not,"
Okay. All right. So, just jumping back to your aspect as a physician, what do you see for this practice moving forward? Do you see more practices worldwide? Do you want to travel and do surgery in less fortunate parts of the world? What's next for you professionally?
Professionally, I want to expand this practice. We are in the process of expanding here in this building, and also we're going to expand into New York and Las Vegas by the end of the year. I already have medical license in those states, and I've been collaborating with some other colleagues to work that out.
You talked about what you do to keep yourself together, but how do you stay grounded as a person? It's very easy, especially in today's society, to get full of yourself. You've been on reality television before. You have a very nice office space in a prime location in Atlanta. You're looking to branch out. How do you keep yourself grounded?
Just go home.
So back to Hawkinsville?
Yes, go back to Hawkinsville. My family, they don't let me forget.
Okay.
If there are no seats, they'll say, my sisters will say, "You don't see, there's a floor right there." Like they don't care. They love making me feel normal.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. But I bet you like that feeling, though. Isn't it nice to go home and just be not on?
It is.
Yeah.
It is. I like it.
You still get dirty when you go home? Or do they still have the farm operating?
They still have it.
Okay.
Honestly, I don't go back.
Okay.
Yeah, I had enough growing up.
You're like, okay.
I don't mind, but I just did it so much that I said, once I get away, I'm not going back. And my dad credits the farm to my success today, and he always jokes, and he said, "That boy hated the farm so much he became a surgeon."
As far away as possible, right?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
All right. Tell us how we can find out more information about you as a plastic surgeon, how we can learn about becoming not partnered with, but how do we learn more about Surgeon's Touch and how to help spread the word?
Well, me, in my practice, you can go to WrightJonesPlasticSurgery.com. I'm also on Instagram at WrightJonesMD, and that's my same handle for Twitter. We have a Facebook page called Wright Jones Plastic Surgery, and any of those mediums will allow you access to us.
Do you do your own social media?
I do my own.
Okay, good.
I've tried. Sheena Wilder, my PR person, has helped me hone my PR skills, so she's been very helpful in that regard.
Okay.
But we've tried to find people to help me out with my posts, but I just didn't.
It doesn't feel.
I think it needs to come from the heart. It needs to be authentic.
Yeah, it should be.
Yeah.
You can tell as a patron and as an audience member looking at other people. You can tell when somebody's just got somebody automating their stuff. And it's like, it's not really.
Yeah.
He's not really real. So okay, that's good. That can be appreciated.
I do have help with answering the Facebook questions that we get, because we get so many, and oftentimes I'm operating and I can't get to them in a timely fashion.
Is there anything that we can find online, social media-wise, about Surgeon's Touch?
Yes. So Surgeon's Touch is accessed through multiple sites. One is surgeonstouch.org. Another one is @surgeonstouch on Instagram as well as Twitter. And there's also a Surgeons Touch Facebook page.
Does the organization accept donations of any sort?
Yes, we accept donations. We also accept sponsorships. So if anyone wants to sponsor another person or recommend another person, they can feel free to submit a video or a letter recommending us to help that person.
And just for the sake of the audience that may view this video, do you just go to the website and follow the directions on how to apply, how to submit?
You can email surgeonstouch@gmail.com and submit either just your statement. We prefer a video.
Okay.
Talking about what you want and why you want it, as well as your proposed community service project.
Okay. Jumping back to you personally for just a quick moment, what would Dr. Jones today tell 10-year-old Wright Jones?
Great question. I would tell me to stick to what I believe and what I want to do and enjoy the ride. I would say you're going to make it, just enjoy the ride.
Okay. Did you not, it's when you're not sure if you're going to make it or not, did you spend a lot of time with your head down, being disciplined and not really having the fun around you?
No, I had fun.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I was pretty balanced.
Okay.
I've been lucky. I've been very blessed, very lucky.
Okay. One responsibility that you probably didn't ask for, but I'm sure you are a role model to a lot of different children of different walks of life. If you could look directly into the camera and tell those people that are on the come up that don't, the other children that are in Hawkinsville on a farm that don't know what they're going to do with themselves or they aspire but just don't see the way.
Yeah.
Do you have any words of inspiration that you can share?
Yes. I would say you got to believe in yourself. It's not up to your parents, your family, your peers, your teachers, or anyone else to inspire you. The inspiration has to come from yourself. And if you don't believe in what you can do, you can't expect other people to believe in that. And you hear all the time that anything is possible, and honestly, it really is. You just got to want it bad enough, and you got to work hard enough for it. It's going to not be easy, but it's very doable if you stick to it, believe in yourself, and most importantly, keep God first.
That is awesome. Put that on front of somebody's sermon. There you go. I do want to ask you just quickly, as far as not politics, but just the state of our community, and our communities plural, not just the black community. Well, you could start with the black community, but also just us as Americans. We are in what some consider a state of crisis. Politically, do you have what are your viewpoints? I don't want to delve into, what party and things that you support, but what are your words that you're living by right now while it's kind of hard?
Again, I always lean to my faith. I do think in the medical sector with the healthcare administration, there are some challenges that we're undergoing. The old healthcare system was not perfect, but I think it served a lot of benefit and did a lot of good. There were things that, especially as a physician, people don't know that we suffer from because of that, the changes that have occurred. I think there's a way to come together and find a happy medium for, most importantly, the patients. The people that tend to get over are the insurance companies. So the doctors lose out, patients lose out, even hospitals are losing out. I think within the healthcare field, it's going to get better. I think what we need to do, instead of looking at throwing everything, all the work we've done over the years out the window, we need to find ways of just kind of improving and upgrading what we have.
Okay, that makes sense.
But I think the state of the black community is not where it should be, but a lot better than where it used to be.
Okay.
We're doing a lot of good. And I think oftentimes we're portrayed inappropriately in the media. So I applaud Huffington Post for even doing this, because it's something positive. It's not about drama. It's not about excitement. You know, in a way it is about excitement, but it's not about drama. And I think the African Americans, as well as other minorities, have a lot to offer to this country, and that oftentimes is not illustrated, or is not on the forefront of what's shown in the media.
Okay. So you're conscious about not just what's going on in your office, but with a lot
Oh,
of
yes, yes, yes. It's easy for us to look at our own lives and say, oh, well, we're okay. But it's not just about us. You know, we are a community, and whether you black, white, Hispanic, Asian, whatever you are, I think we're all in this together. So if one group suffers, we all suffer.
True.
Instead of judging people as to why they're doing this, or why don't they do this, or why don't they do that, you have to look at the deeper underlying factors that demotivate people and cause them to not do those things you want them to do.
Do you see motivational speaking in your future somewhere?
I've done it. I like it. I like it. I mean, I don't consider myself a motivational speaker, but I think motivational speaking can come from anyone. One thing about motivational speaking is that you have to have an audience who's receptive to it. Okay. You know, and I think it goes both ways. I mean, nothing's easy. Nothing's going to be handed to us. So we have to teach those people that are not exposed and not as privileged to better themselves, and how to do that, and how to work hard. Instead of just saying that they should do it, we have to teach them how to do it and show them how to do it.
Okay,
you know.
I agree. I've got two quick questions for you, and then we'll wrap up. Are there any other organizations outside of Surgeons Touch that you support? Any other charitable organizations that you contribute to personally, or that you are behind the cause?
I've contributed to the Ricky Smiley Foundation. I've contributed to the American Cancer Society, just Shriners Hospital. I've also started an endowment scholarship at Meharry Medical College in my parents' name. So I'm really big into giving back.
Can you tell us the name of that scholarship?
It's the Wright and Betty Jones. We're just starting it, but it's going to be named after my parents. Okay. So it's going to be the Wright and Betty Jones Endowed Scholarship.
Okay, I know that puts a big smile on their face too.
It does.
I'm proud of their child for.
Well, I'm proud of them for raising us. You know.
There you go. Hear that, parents? Not too many kids get to hear theirs. Not too many parents get to hear their children say that back.
Yeah.
Last thing, is there any events that we should be looking forward to? Any upcoming Surgeons Touch things? Anything for the Wright Jones office?
Yeah, we have a huge celebrity cooking challenge coming up on June 14th. So stay tuned for that. Follow our social media outlets, and stay abreast of how you can get involved, how you can show up, and it will also show you how you can contribute.
Okay. I think that's a wrap. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay.